The whole world knew Queen Victoria as the ruler of the greatest empire on earth. People saw a powerful queen wearing the crown with confidence and dignity. But behind the palace walls lived a woman whose heart belonged to only one person: Prince Albert. From the moment they met, their lives changed forever. Albert was not only her husband. He was her closest friend, her strongest supporter, and the person she trusted more than anyone else. They spent countless hours together discussing family, the future of Britain, and their dreams for the kingdom. Victoria often said that Albert made every difficult day easier. Whenever she entered a crowded royal hall, she searched for his face first. His smile gave her strength. His voice gave her peace. Years passed, and together they built a loving family while carrying the enormous responsibility of leading the nation. To the people, they looked like the perfect royal couple. But happiness never lasts forever. One cold winter, Albert became seriously ill. The palace doctors tried everything they could. Victoria refused to leave his side. She prayed through every night, hoping he would recover. Then the moment she feared finally arrived. Albert took his final breath. The room became silent. Victoria held his hand for a long time, unable to believe the love of her life was gone forever. At that moment, the most powerful woman in the world felt completely helpless. She did not know that her life would never be the same again. The crown remained on her head, but the happiness inside her heart disappeared forever. The morning after Prince Albert passed away, the palace felt empty. Every hallway reminded Queen Victoria of the man she had loved more than anyone. She walked into his private room. Nothing had been moved. His books remained on the shelves. His chair stood beside the fireplace. His clothes were carefully arranged exactly as he had left them. Victoria quietly touched his coat and closed her eyes. For a moment she imagined he would walk through the door again. But the room remained silent. From that day forward, she ordered that Albert's bedroom should stay exactly the same. Every morning servants brought fresh water, clean towels, and neatly prepared clothes into his room as though he was still alive. Many people inside the palace could not understand why. But Victoria believed love never ended with death. She began wearing black every single day. The bright dresses she once loved disappeared forever. Royal celebrations no longer brought her happiness. Even when crowds cheered outside the palace windows, she smiled only for a moment before sadness returned. Her children worried about her. Her ministers tried to convince her to return fully to public life. But every evening Victoria sat alone looking at Albert's portrait. She read his old letters again and again. She remembered every conversation, every journey, and every promise they had shared. The years continued to pass. Britain remained one of the most powerful nations in the world. Yet inside the palace, the Queen still carried the same broken heart. She ruled an empire. But every night she wished for one more moment with the man she loved. The years passed, but Queen Victoria never forgot Prince Albert. Every important decision reminded her of the advice he once gave. Whenever she entered a grand royal hall, she still imagined him walking beside her. His memory became part of every day of her life. Many people believed time would heal her broken heart. But time only taught her how to live with the pain. Victoria continued to serve her people with courage and dedication. She attended royal ceremonies, welcomed world leaders, and fulfilled her duty as queen. Behind every smile, however, she carried the memory of the man she loved. As Britain entered a new era, Victoria became a symbol of strength and stability. Millions admired her without realizing how much personal sorrow she carried. Her love for Albert never faded. It became the quiet force that guided her through the rest of her reign. When historians looked back at her life, they saw more than a powerful monarch. They saw a devoted wife whose love remained unbroken even after death separated them. Queen Victoria proved that true love is not measured by the years two people spend together. It is measured by the memories they carry for the rest of their lives. The crown made her one of the greatest queens in history. But her love for Prince Albert made her one of the most unforgettable women the world has ever known. That is why the story of Queen Victoria is remembered not only as the story of an empire, but as the story of a heart that never stopped loving. As the years moved forward, Queen Victoria slowly returned to many of her royal duties. She opened Parliament, welcomed foreign leaders, and travelled across Britain. The people once again saw their queen standing before them with quiet strength. But every journey reminded her that Prince Albert was no longer beside her. She often visited the places they had once explored together. Every garden, every palace, and every quiet path carried memories of happier days. Victoria made sure Albert's dreams for Britain would never be forgotten. She supported education, science, industry, and the arts because these had always been close to his heart. Many great buildings and monuments were created to honor his memory. The greatest of them all stood proudly in London, so future generations would remember the man who had inspired a queen. Whenever Victoria looked at the monument, she did not see stone or marble. She saw the husband who had filled her life with love, hope, and courage. Her children grew older. Her grandchildren filled the royal family with new life. Even during joyful family gatherings, there was always one empty place inside her heart. Late in the evening, after the palace became quiet, Victoria often sat beside the window looking toward the night sky. She believed that somewhere beyond the stars Albert was watching over her. She softly whispered that every day she lived was one day closer to seeing him again. No servant heard those words. No newspaper ever printed them. They remained hidden inside the silent walls of the palace. As old age slowly approached, Queen Victoria knew that her own final journey was getting closer. She was no longer afraid, because she believed the day would come when love and duty would finally meet again. The final years of Queen Victoria's life were filled with quiet reflection. She had ruled Britain for many decades. She had witnessed great victories, difficult challenges, and remarkable changes across the empire. The world remembered her as a powerful queen. But those who knew her closely remembered something even greater: her unwavering love for Prince Albert. Until the very end, she kept his memory alive. His portraits remained inside the royal residences. His achievements continued to inspire the nation. His place in her heart was never replaced. As her strength slowly faded, Victoria often looked at old family photographs and remembered the happiest years of her life. She believed that every sacrifice she had made as queen had been easier because Albert had once stood beside her. When her final days arrived, she faced them with calm dignity. She had fulfilled her duty to her country. She had raised a family. She had served her people with honor. And she had remained faithful to the love of her life. After Queen Victoria passed away, people across Britain mourned the end of an extraordinary reign. Historians remembered her as one of the greatest monarchs in British history. But beyond the crown, beyond the palaces, and beyond the empire, her greatest legacy was her humanity. She showed the world that even the most powerful ruler could experience love, loss, and hope. Her story continues to inspire millions because it reminds us that true love does not disappear with time. It lives inside memories, loyalty, and the promise that some bonds can never be broken. That is why Queen Victoria is remembered not only as a great queen, but as a woman whose heart belonged to Prince Albert until her very last day.